This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 on Good Morning Indiana, an online sale ends with an Indianapolis woman getting robbed at gunpoint. We're working for you this morning with what you can do to keep this from happening to you.
And it's one of the biggest shopping days of the season, Cyber Monday. How you can prevent yourself from scammers and thieves getting your information as you shop online.
Plus, if your morning commute involves the red line, be prepared to start paying a fee. We'll tell you how much you can expect to pay. It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We hope you had a great holiday weekend, but it's back to work, back to school this Monday, and Todd Clausen's breaking down what you should wear.
You know, you need the jacket. You probably don't need the umbrella today. And by the way, the red line, they are charging. I was on it yesterday, so be prepared as we look ahead to that story. You will have to pay. That's your choice of transportation here this morning. Here's a live look outside right now, and we are just locked in with the clouds across the area. And this is not going to change throughout the entire day today. That is going to be an issue for us. And with the lack of sunshine and a northwesterly wind, these temperatures are not really going to warm much at all across the area today. We're sitting at 34 in Indy and Greenfield, Bloomington 34 degrees as well, 32 in Richmond. Peru sitting at 35 degrees. They'll fluctuate maybe only a degree or two in either direction as we work our way throughout the remainder of the morning and eventually into the afternoon hours. So we still have some clouds around, and the bulk of the precipitation is coming to an end, but there could just be a little bit of patchy drizzle out there throughout the course of the morning hours. Then that will shut off as well later on this afternoon as this big storm system eventually becomes a huge area of low pressure on the East Coast. So we're just stuck with quiet conditions, just not the brightest weather here throughout the day today, as skies are going to be mostly cloudy throughout the entire day. You notice the temperature over 33 degrees at 9 a.m., 35 degrees as we work our way into the noon hour. And then as we continue throughout the afternoon hours, temperatures really just do not move at all. The wind will calm, but the wind direction doesn't change, and that is why these temperatures won't move at all. But you can probably take 35 and then subtract a couple degrees for that to get your wind chill values today. That should be right around 30 degrees. The time now is 5:01. Let's get a look at the roadways with Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look over on the east side, I-70 and Emerson Avenue. We just have one vehicle there off to the right shoulder of the road, but overall traffic is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound over on the east side. No crashes to report around the metro area as well. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on those roads as you're heading out to kick off your Monday. We'll keep you updated on any issues.
We begin this morning with the investigation into 2 homicides on opposite sides of the city. The first happened just before 11 o'clock Sunday morning on the east side. Officers were dispatched to the 400 block of North Bevel Avenue between East Michigan Street and East New York Street. When they arrived, they found an unresponsive man who was pronounced dead at the scene. About an hour later, officers found a man dead on Whitcomb Avenue on the west side. It's near 16th and Lyndhurst. Police say the victim there had also been shot. Right now, we're still working to learn the names of both victims.
In Marion, police believe that a 19-year-old woman died after a passenger in her own car shot her with an AR-15. 22-year-old Austin Smith is accused of firing the weapon from the back seat, hitting and killing Annalisa McMillan. It happened Tuesday at the intersection of Mason Boulevard and South Baldwin Avenue. 2 other people in the car were not hurt.
Avon police are investigating a robbery and shooting at an apartment complex. The department says dispatchers received several 911 calls just after midnight Sunday about gunshots at the residence's apartment off of Ronald Reagan Parkway. Detectives identified the person responsible for the shots but are still investigating the robbery.
Here at 5:03, RTV6 working for you this morning after a woman tells us that she and her brother were robbed while they were trying to sell something online. Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with her message so we can all stay safe this season. Kelsey.
Well, Lauren, the siblings found themselves at gunpoint in a busy parking lot over the weekend while trying to sell their PlayStation. Kimberly Arnold tells us her and her brother chose to meet here at the Canby Crossing Shopping Center. She says they assumed nothing could go wrong in a very public place. But when her brother asked for the money, the so-called buyers pulled out a gun and took the console without paying. Luckily, Arnold and her brother weren't hurt in the robbery, but she has this message for all of us this morning.
I want everyone to learn that, first of all, don't meet someone on apps or let go apps unless you have a safe place, which I thought this would be a safe place. You know, it's right in the open. Everyone's biased, but apparently it wasn't.
A spokeswoman with IMPD tells RTV6 they have created safe zones at each police district headquarters where for people to safely make exchanges under 24-hour surveillance. Now, there's also a website called safetradespots.com. All you have to do is type in your address and it populates the closest safe places for you to do online exchanges. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, some great tips there. Thank you. It is Cyber Monday, and we are working for you with ways you can protect yourself from scams and thefts as you shop online. First, be sure to read the fine print and make sure you're buying exactly what you want. Also, closely check emails offering holiday deals and make sure they are from the companies they claim to represent. You should always go to the company's official websites instead of just clicking on a link emailed to you. And don't make online purchases using public Wi-Fi. This helps protect your personal information. Finally, make purchases using a credit card if you can. If any shady charges show up later, you can dispute them. Debit cards don't always offer that same protection.
At 5:05, if the Red Line is part of your work week commute, you're going to have to pay to ride now. Sunday, Indigo started charging fares to ride the Red Line. It's been free for the first 3 months, partly because of problems with the new electronic ticketing system. Riders we spoke with say the convenience of the Red Line is worth the cost.
Yes, it was worth it.
Yeah, this is actually my first time riding the Red Line.
Anytime there's probably a Pacer game, we'll go down on the bus. It's just so much easier than parking.
Indigo is using a temporary ticketing system for now because of the permanent system called MyKey. It still isn't ready. You can buy a paper ticket with cash or credit card at any Red Line station. And here's how much tickets will cost you. A 2-hour pass is $1.75. A full-day pass is $4. If you have a Medicare card, a valid K-12 student ID, or Indigo half fare, it's a half fare ID card, you can get those passes all for half price. We have all this information right now for you on the IndyChannel.com.
A key street that moves traffic into downtown Indianapolis is set to shut down for several months starting today. Illinois will be closed between McCarty and South Streets. That's near Lucas Oil Stadium and the main post office. Citizens Energy is finishing construction on the Lower Pogues Run Tunnel as part of the Dig Indy Tunnel system. The project is aimed at eliminating sewer overflows in Marion County. The closure is scheduled to go through July.
Construction is moving ahead on a permanent stage at the White River Park Amphitheater. The $16 million project is expected to be complete in June. It's being built in the same site as the temporary stage that's built and torn down each year since 2004. Plans include installing an LED screen, a concrete pad for 3,000 seats, and more restrooms. The feature phase could add a canopy over the seating area and the stage. Concert promoters expect the number of concerts held at the park to grow thanks to these improvements.
If you think the Indianapolis Zoo's holiday display is the best in the biz, let USA Today know. Voting for the 10 Best Zoo Lights competitions ends at noon today. Indianapolis has finished in the top 5 3 years in a row. Winners will be announced next Friday, December 13th. Christmas at the Zoo goes through December 30th. Here at 5:07, Todd, if people still haven't put out their Christmas lights, today might not be the day to do it. It's going to be pretty cold out there.
You know, it is going to be chilly. You definitely probably want to have the gloves on. There are better days ahead this week if that's what you need to do, in which we get the sunshine back and also some warmer temperatures. So as we start the Monday here after a holiday weekend, you might be a little sluggish like me this morning and need to grab that extra cup of coffee, and the weather's definitely not helping. Lots of clouds out there. Temperatures are going to be pretty steady, just above freezing throughout the duration of your morning commute. And there even could be a little bit of patchy drizzle out there across the area, or maybe a light rain and or snow shower. This little band you see there is actually drifting in off of Lake Michigan. Otherwise, we're talking about just mostly cloudy skies. If your travels take you eastward, though, today, whether by car or by plane, there's going to be a big storm system moving up the East Coast, so that could cause you some issues. Just be aware of that. But again, closer to home, we just really can't shake the clouds throughout the day today. So we'll look for mostly cloudy skies, and because of that cloud cover, temperatures just don't really move a lot throughout the day today. 36 in Kokomo as well as Greenwood, a high in Columbus and Bloomington right around 37 and 38 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Today, the Supreme Court is expected to take up the issue of gun control for the first time in nearly 10 years. Coming up, why justices are weighing in and what's at stake.
And Twitter is doing an about-face, why the company says it's reconsidering its policy of deactivating some inactive accounts.
And here is a live look right now at your commute through the downtown area. Our INDOT traffic camera here at I-65 near Fletcher Avenue. Might be a little breezy out there as the camera's bouncing around this morning, but overall traffic is moving along just fine. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any issues that may slow you down. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:12. It is your Monday morning. We're keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out there to kick off your work week. Here's a look on the northwest side, I-465 and West 71st Street. Traffic's traveling up to speed. No issues here to slow you down.
Officials in Texas are investigating after a small plane crashed, killing all 3 people on board. And this happened last night near the San Antonio International Airport. Investigators say the plane took off from Sugar Land, just southwest of Houston, but for some reason the pilot needed to make an emergency landing. The plane fell about 150 yards short of the runway instead crashing into the street. Thankfully, it missed several nearby homes and a nearby apartment complex. 2 men and a woman on board that plane were all killed. No word yet on their identities or why the plane needed to make that emergency landing.
At 5:13 this morning, police in New Orleans are still looking for the person or persons responsible for shooting into a crowd gathered at a famed French Quarter. This happened just before 3:30 Sunday morning. Investigators say several officers were already on the scene because of the Bayou Classic football game, which brought tens of thousands of visitors into town. 10 people were injured at the shooting, at least 2 critically. 1 person was detained near the scene, but so far no arrests have been made. The FBI is now assisting with that investigation.
For the first time in nearly a decade, the U.S. Supreme Court will wade into the gun control debate. The High Court will hear arguments today in a dispute over a New York City gun restriction policy. The ordinance in question put restrictions on transporting legally owned guns. Gun owners say it violates their Second Amendment rights. Gun control advocates argue that if the Supreme Court issues a broad ruling expanding gun rights, a variety of firearms restrictions laws passed in recent years by state and local governments across the country could be in jeopardy.
Time now is 5:14. The House Judiciary Committee's first impeachment hearing is scheduled for Wednesday. Despite getting an invitation, President Trump will not be involved. White House lawyer Pat Cipollone released a letter on Sunday calling the inquiry, quote, baseless and highly partisan. The letter also accuses Chairman Jerry Nadler of purposely scheduling the hearing during a time when President Trump will be out of the country for a NATO meeting. Cipollone did leave the door open for White House participation in future hearings. The Judiciary panel is expected to have multiple public hearings, eventually considering articles of impeachment. A vote could come before Christmas.
64 years ago, Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give a white man her bus seat. That moment went down in history, making her a major symbol of the civil rights movement. Today, a life-size statue of her stands in downtown Montgomery. It was unveiled Sunday, just 30 feet from the spot where she's believed to have boarded that bus. Her arrest on December 1st, 1955, prompted a 381-day boycott of the Montgomery bus system, organized by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The successful demonstration also played a key role in the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which integrated public spaces nationwide.
At 5:15, a relentless winter storm causing thousands of delays as travelers try to head home from the Thanksgiving holiday, and forecasters say the worst is yet to come. Several major cities will see the first snow accumulations of the season today, including New York, Philadelphia, and Boston. Some New Yorkers are bracing for up to a foot of snow. Meanwhile, airports all across the country are reporting delays and cancellations. Out in South Dakota, blizzard conditions turned deadly when a plane carrying 12 people crashed shortly after takeoff. 9 people were killed, including 2 children and the pilot. In Minnesota, several drivers abandoned their cars on the highway, and now a new storm is already dumping snow in parts of Washington state. Back here at home, Todd, we're kind of avoiding this winter storm, it seems like.
Yeah, you know, we've missed out on a lot of this really bad weather. Well, talk more about each one of those storms on the coast coming up in just a few minutes. But yeah, our travel plans, I know we've had some rain, especially on Saturday, but we avoided all the snow, which is certainly good news. And this morning, as you're walking out the door, there's some areas of drizzle, but that's really just about it. Otherwise, we're talking about cool and cloudy conditions across the area. Unfortunately, with the clouds in place and a bit of a northwesterly wind, our temperatures will not move much at all as we work our way throughout the day today. So what you see this morning is kind of what you get throughout the entire afternoon. And as you look off here to the west, you see the clouds are firmly in place, and that's the way it remains throughout the entire day. 34 in the city, the wind at the west-northwest at 14 miles per hour. The wind speed itself, that will start to diminish as the day goes on. That is the good news. The wind direction, though, will not change. So the combination of that west-northwest wind and the cloud cover is what is going to prevent our temperatures from moving much in an upward direction. 33 right now, the common number as you work your way from Greencastle to Martinsville down into Bloomington. 34 right now in Indy. 36 is the current temperature as you make your way into the Connorsville area. So this afternoon, temperatures maybe get up to about 36 degrees. Even if we do get to 36, it's not going to feel like that with the clouds and also that breeze that is out there. And then as we work our way into the 6 o'clock hour, the temperature's down to right around 34 degrees. So this morning, don't be surprised if you see an isolated flake, a little bit of a sprinkle here or there, and that should be just about it. Certainly not going to hamper your morning commute as far as any heavy precipitation. But here is the storm system that's going to bring snow from Philadelphia to New York to Boston with over a foot of snow in interior New England. And then off on the west coast, a pretty big storm system in San Francisco. I just checked the flight from Indy to San Francisco that they have this morning is already delayed. So if you're on that, make sure you check. But there's going to be a lot of mountain snow in here and a lot of wind as well throughout much of California. If you're flying to Los Angeles as well, you're going to be dealing with windy conditions there this evening. Temperatures again holding in the 30s, although overnight tonight the clouds will start to break. And as that happens, temperatures will cool off into the 20s. So tomorrow morning, a little bit of a colder start, and then throughout the day tomorrow, we have some sunshine finally back in the forecast. It may take a little while to completely get rid of the clouds tomorrow morning, but we should get there, get into some sunshine. With that sunshine, the temperature is up to right around 40 degrees. Then as we look ahead, it's actually pretty seasonable for Wednesday and Thursday. Our normal high this time of year is 44. So we're right around that Wednesday, Thursday, and then into Friday. That a little mix you see there, I have an icon on Friday. That is a little bit of a wintry mix that'll be possible overnight into Friday morning. Most of Friday will be dry, as will the weekend, with temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic through the downtown area. I-65, a view here from Washington Street. Traffic's moving along just fine, both northbound and southbound. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a look at some drive times. Planning out your commute, heading southbound right now on I-69 through Hamilton County. It is a 14-minute drive from State Road 13 to I-465, so no major problems there. Let's take a turn up here to the north side, I-465 and Allisonville Road. Traffic is pretty quiet this morning in this area. We'll continue to keep an eye out for any crashes or delays.
Shelley Morrison, the actress best known for playing the feisty maid Rosario Salazar on Will and Grace, has died. Morrison passed away Sunday due to heart failure, according to her publicist. The 83-year-old worked for more than 6 decades, guest starring in more than 150 television series. Besides her role on Will and Grace, Morrison was best known for playing Sister Sixto on The Flying Nun alongside Sally Field in the 1960s. She battled health problems over the years, beating both breast and lung cancer.
Twitter is rethinking its plan to get rid of inactive accounts. The decision comes after an onslaught of backlash from users. Some worried this change would mean that accounts of people who died would get deleted. That was something the company said it hadn't considered yet. Twitter is now planning to figure out a way to memorialize accounts before removing inactive accounts. The company says when the policy is in place, it will reach out to those who have the accounts at risk of being deleted before purging them.
The holiday season is off to a great start for the Bayhive. Beyonce just dropped a new holiday collection. The line includes items like ornaments, blankets, and scarves. There's also a selection of holiday-themed graphic tees and sweatshirts. And to top it off, fans can wrap their gifts in paper featuring Queen Bee herself. The full 12-piece holiday collection is only available online. An Alabama church is giving the gift of being debt-free this holiday season, coming up just how much they were able to give families experiencing medical debt.
And finding a job can be a major challenge for Hoosiers with disabilities. Coming up at 6, how an organization in Muncie is trying to change that through a new training program. It's 5:21. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:24 on your Monday, and here's a live look at traffic right now in the downtown area, I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. Traffic here is moving along up to speed as you're heading back to work or school on this Monday.
It is the season of giving, and one Alabama church is going above and beyond to give a life-changing gift to families who need it most. St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Birmingham partnered with RIP Medical Debt to help families in need. RIP buys medical debt directly from hospitals for pennies on the dollar. For every dollar donated, they're able to forgive $100 worth of medical debt. St. Luke's initially hoped to cover about $10,000 worth of medical debt, but money kept pouring in. When it was all said and done, the church was able to cover more than $7.5 million of medical debt for families in 14 counties across the state. Pretty amazing.
Well, the Mile High City is now home to the biggest light-up tree in North America. Take a look at this. The 110-foot Mile High tree is located in Denver, Colorado. The installation was shipped from Spain. It's covered in more than 60,000 strands of lights and offers a fully immersive experience. The visitors here can actually go inside, and they're treated to choreographed music and a light show. Look at that. The tree will be on display through the end of January.
Very pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And Todd Closet is making his way over. He was obviously buying Lauren and I's Christmas gifts here on this Cyber Monday. And Todd, you have been saying all morning long, it is a great day to get your Cyber Monday shopping done because there's really no reason to be outside.
Yeah, unless you have to go to work and the kids have to go off to school. But yeah, if you don't have to go outside, it's one of those days you probably don't want to go outside. Not really because there's much in the way of precipitation heading our way, but it's a damp morning for us across the area with lots of clouds and temperatures in the 30s and a little bit of patchy drizzle. And the temperatures are just not really going to move much at all here throughout the course of not only the morning, but throughout the day. So we're in the low 30s here this morning. And by this afternoon, high temperatures only get into that 35 to about 38 degree range. The one thing you will notice throughout the day, though, the wind will start to calm down. It's a little breezy right now. That should not be much of an issue as we get into the afternoon hours.
Todd, thanks. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the fate of 3 IPS schools hangs in the balance after the district decided to part ways with a charter school group. Today, district officials are offering the public a chance to weigh in. We'll have all the details coming up.
Six a.m. to 6:30 p.m. See you there. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, an online marketplace sale gone wrong after a gun was pulled on an Indianapolis woman and her brother. What police say to do to make sure this doesn't happen to you.
And we are learning more about a doctor's death after he was killed during a home break-in. How his family says he risked his life to save others. But before we get to those top stories, it is Monday after a holiday weekend. Thanks for joining us. We got to get a look at what our forecast is like today.
Yeah, and Lauren, it is not looking too good. Todd, I think more people might be encouraged to get up and get moving this morning if maybe you had some sunshine ahead of us for today, but that's not the case.
Yeah, no, and it's not only this morning, it's the entire day that we're unfortunately locked in with the clouds. So it's just going to be a blah winter day for us here across the area. You definitely do not need the sunglasses here for the day today, but you also don't need the umbrella. While there's lots of clouds around, we are not expecting much in the way of precipitation, so have the jacket. And your outdoor workout, you can do it this morning. There's no real heavy rain heading our way, but nonetheless, it's going to be kind of a cool and damp start. Here's the view from downtown to the north past Riley Towers and the Central Library, and you can see the clouds firmly in place and that shine out there. The roads are still kind of damp from a little bit of a rain-snow mixture that we had yesterday evening, and that continued into the overnight hours. Temperature-wise, we're in the 30s, 34 in Indy, 38 in Muncie. So here's the picture as far as the satellite goes. You see the clouds, you see a few snow showers and or rain showers making their way through the area. But as this big storm system pushes off towards the east coast, that's going to yank the precipitation out of the way for us. but we'll be left with the cloud cover again throughout the day today. So what you get is kind of what you have throughout the entire day this morning. So 33 at 8 a.m., only up to about 35, 36 degrees, Lauren, this afternoon with those cloudy skies.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here is a look right now at traffic as you're heading out the door to start your Monday. No problems here in the downtown area. This is I-65, a view from Fletcher Avenue. Traffic is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound between the splits. So that is great news. Let's take a look at our drive times over here on the east side. Heading in on westbound I-70 from Post Road, I-65 there at the north split. It's a 10-minute commute, so no delays. Let's take a turn to the northeast side, I-465 and I-69, where traffic is starting to pick up this morning. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for anything that might slow you down, and we'll keep you updated.
The holiday deals continue with Cyber Monday today. This year's Black Friday saw record-breaking online sales, and researchers say Cyber Monday won't disappoint. Retailers like Amazon, Best Buy, and Target all offering big deals on electronics this year. Best Buy offering more than $100 off Beats by Dre headphones and HP laptops. Target lists big deals on iPads and a 65-inch Vizio TV. Video games and toys are also hot ticket items across major stores.
RTV6 working for you this morning after a woman tells us that she and her brother were robbed while trying to sell something online. Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with her message so that we can stay safe. Kelsey.
Good morning, Lauren. Yeah, so these siblings, they found themselves at gunpoint in a busy parking lot while trying to sell their PlayStation over the weekend. Kimberly Arnold tells us her and her brother chose to meet here at Canby Crossing Shopping Center. She says they assumed nothing could go wrong in a very public place, but when her brother asked for the money, these so-called buyers pulled out a gun and took the console without paying. She says they did call the police, but as far as she knows, no arrests have been made.
Hopefully we find out from the cops. Hopefully they find them. I don't know. I'm just praying that they find them because it could happen to anyone, anytime, and I don't want it to happen.
Luckily, Arnold and her brother weren't hurt in the robbery, but she wants her story to be a reminder to everyone to choose a safe location when completing an online sale. A spokeswoman with IMPD tells RTV6 they have created safe zones at each police district headquarters for people to safely make exchanges under 24-hour surveillance. There is also a website called safetradespots.com. All you have to do is type in your address and it populates the closest safe spots near you. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. An Aramark employee at the Pendleton Correctional Facility has been charged for trafficking drugs to an inmate. 26-year-old Kevin Lake was arrested for allegedly selling Suboxone and methamphetamine at the correctional industry facility. Lake was charged with trafficking with an inmate, a level 5 felony. He was transported to the Marion County Jail.
A family of a man killed during a break-in in Brownsburg say that he died defending the ones that he loved. Dr. Dean Marr was shot to death on Wednesday. According to his obituary, the 61-year-old was preparing to host Thanksgiving dinner when armed attackers broke into the home east of Ronald Reagan Parkway and I-74. The obituary says Marr confronted the attackers, sacrificing his life to save others. Police have not yet confirmed that information and have not reported any arrests in that case.
More than 1,000 patients are suing a northern Indiana hospital after they were warned a mistake might have exposed them to deadly infections. Goshen Hospital notified more than 1,100 surgical patients last month that a sterilization technician missed a crucial step, possibly exposing the patients to HIV, hepatitis C, and hepatitis B. According to the Elkhart Truth newspaper, the lawsuit claims the potential exposure led to emotional distress and trauma.
Part of a major street here in downtown Indianapolis is scheduled to close for several months starting today. Illinois Street will be shut down between McCarty and South Streets until July. Citizens Energy is finishing construction on the lower Pogues Run tunnel as part of the Dig Indy tunnel system. Dig Indy is a 28-mile network of underground tunnels that is aimed at eliminating sewer overflows in Marion County.
The community will get a chance to learn more about the future of an Indianapolis school this evening. Last month, the IPS Board of Commissioners voted to end a partnership with Charter Schools USA to manage Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle School. The district will ask the State Board of Education to return control of the school to IPS. The public meeting to discuss the issue starts at 6 o'clock tonight at the Tube Factory on Cruft Street. That's off of Shelby Street on the south side.
It is 5:36, and the Colts will be looking to turn things around after losing to divisional rival the Tennessee Titans. What started out well for the Colts, getting a turnover in the Titans' opening drive, did not last. Tennessee blocked 2 field goals in the game. The second was returned back for a touchdown. The Colts could not recover, giving up another TD before the end of the game, making it 31-17 in the final. Indianapolis hoping for a better outcome next week in their game away against Tampa Bay. Time right now is 5:37. Let's check in right now with Todd Clausen and our forecast. Hey, Todd.
All right, as the kids head back to school and you head off to work after the holiday weekend, the long holiday weekend, and it's not the best weather day to get you going. It's not going to be a bright day for us, and it's not going to be a seasonable day for us, as we'll continue to have our temperatures well below normal. 33 degrees with mostly cloudy skies here as the kids head off to school and you head off to work. As the kids come home from school, not much really changes. We still have the clouds around, and the temperature doesn't move much at all. We only get up to right around 36 degrees for your afternoon high. So 3 degrees, that's all we warm throughout the day today, and that's due to the cloud cover that's going to be out there and also the northwesterly wind. So thankfully, though, we're missing out on a lot of this precipitation. It's moving off towards the East Coast. If you do have travel plans to the East Coast this morning to get the week going, make sure you check with your airline, as there's going to be quite a bit of wintry weather from Boston all the way through New York. We have a few light snow showers out there this morning. Don't be shocked if you see that, or a little bit of drizzle that's out there, but that should continue to diminish as the morning goes on. And then we finally get the sunshine back into the forecast tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The pressure is mounting for Democratic candidates as the Iowa caucus nears. Coming up, how some are battling to get ahead in those polls.
And new technology is working to catch distracted drivers. Still ahead, how new cameras can tell if you're using your phone behind the wheel.
And as you're getting behind the wheel on this Monday morning, we want to give you a look at what you can expect to the northwest. I-465 here in West 46th Street, where traffic is picking up. Look at all those headlights moving both northbound and southbound there. No crashes or delays to slow you down. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
About to fix it.
Welcome back. It is 5:42 here on your Monday. Here's a live look right now at traffic in the downtown area, picking up as folks are heading back to work and back to school after a long holiday weekend. We'll keep an eye out for any delays, but right now everything is looking like it's traveling up to speed.
It is back to work for a lot of the Democratic candidates heading to the Hawkeye State this week, with the Iowa caucuses just 2 months away. Some trying to cement their lead, others hoping to shake things up. ABC's Inez de la Catera has the latest.
With the Iowa caucuses just 2 months away, Democrats are going all in the Hawkeye State. Former Vice President Biden in the midst of an 8-day, 18-county, 800-mile road trip. He's calling it the No Malarkey Bus Tour.
We're going the last 2 months here, and we're getting down to the stretch. And the time to, as they say in Iowa, the time to peak is right about now.
Biden still leads in most national polls, but the latest state polling in Iowa shows him trailing Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and he's statistically tied with Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. The candidates also flooding the airwaves, over 5,000 ads airing just this week, including this one about the Buttigieg plan to limit tuition-free college.
There are some voices saying, well, that doesn't count unless you go even further, unless it's free even for the kids of millionaires. But I only want to make promises that we can keep.
That proposal drawing fresh attacks from the progressive wing of the party. Senator Warren switching up the way she campaigns, taking more questions from voters, and sharing an emotional moment on Sunday.
I was wondering if there was ever a time in your life where somebody you really looked up to maybe didn't accept you as much?
Yeah. The truth is, you got to take care of yourself first and do this. Give me a hug.
And Senator Kamala Harris is also in the state. The New York Times reports her campaign is in turmoil, with a top aide leaving to go join Mayor Michael Bloomberg's team and calling Harris's campaign disorganized. Inez de la Catera, ABC News, Washington.
At 5:44, there were long lines in Michigan this weekend, and it wasn't for holiday shopping. Recreational marijuana officially went on sale Sunday. Business owners there say that it's something they've been working towards for years, and those customers hope it's just the beginning. Just last year, Michigan voted to make the state the 10th in the country to sell recreationally. Many, like Indianapolis native Ashley Kalhoff, drove up out of state for the opening day.
No matter what state it would have been in, I wanted to be there. I think this is a really big opportunity for everyone that has like medical needs and anyone that has like anxiety that can't, like maybe they don't want to go to the doctor. It's going to help them out too. It's a fun thing to do. And I mean, it's history.
In total, the state issued 18 licenses to help make this happen, including to growers and processors. Some Michigan communities are still waiting to get the green light, though. There are 1,400 communities that have opted out of recreational marijuana.
Right now in Arizona, search and rescue crews are trying to find a 6-year-old girl who disappeared when the car she was in was swept away by flooding. It all happened in the Tonto Basin on Friday. Deputies say 2 adults and 7 kids were in a military-style vehicle when they tried to cross a swollen creek. That creek had been shut down for safety reasons, and the car was swept downstream. Both adults and 4 of the kids are okay, but 3 went missing. 2 of the children's bodies were found this weekend.
Snow is covering many roads in California and parts of the Midwest this morning. 2 storms causing blizzard-like conditions and causing travel cancellations for millions who were trying to make their way home from Thanksgiving last night. On the West Coast, the Sierras got hit with nearly 16 inches of snow. More is expected to build up there today. The storm in the Midwest dumped more than a foot of snow in Wisconsin and nearly 20 inches in Minnesota. The storm is expected to continue northeast towards New York City today. And Todd, back here at home, we missed out on the winter weather, but we don't have the best weather today.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely not the brightest day for us. You can see the clouds behind me, and that's the way it's going to be not only this morning, but really throughout the entire day. These clouds are just going to be locked into place. The temperature that sits at 34 degrees right now. The winds out of the west-northwest at 14 miles per hour. So the one thing you will notice is the wind speeds will drop. However, the wind direction does not change, and that is the issue for the day today. So it's the wind direction combined with the cloud cover that's going to keep our temperatures pretty steady from start to finish. 33 right now in Martinsville. It's 33 in Bloomington, 34 in Greenfield. 33 is the current temperature in Tipton. So everybody's just within a couple degrees of each other here on this Monday morning. As far as any precipitation, there's definitely a damp feel when you walk out the door. And there's a few snow showers, as you see here to the north. These are actually drifting in off of Lake Michigan. And there could be a little bit of drizzle mixed in here as well, but no substantial precipitation that's going to impact your morning commute. However, if you are flying from Indianapolis, especially off towards the east, you will run into some issues. Maybe not as much this morning as this afternoon once this storm system starts to get going, but this is going to organize itself, become a major storm system up and down the East Coast with snow, with rain, and a lot of wind. So make sure you check with your airline as the day goes on. If you're heading to the east, back off to the west, maybe you're getting the late travel home back to the California coast. And we have San Francisco, a lot of rain, a lot of wind there, some wind, and eventually some rain in Los Angeles too as we get into the afternoon hours. So bottom line is, if you're traveling outside of Indianapolis, with the exception of the Midwest, there's going to be some issues on both the west and the east coast. So this morning, we're dealing with clouds. Notice the temperatures here throughout the day as we progress into the afternoon hours. We're still sitting right around 35 degrees with skies that'll be mostly cloudy, and then 35 degrees is basically all we can do for our high temperature today. So only going up 2 degrees from where we are right now to our high temperature later on this afternoon. This evening, this is when the clouds should finally start to break apart just a little bit across the area as we fall back down into the 30s. And then for the day tomorrow, we get some sunshine back. It may not be until the afternoon hours. It may take a little while to thin these clouds out tomorrow morning, but eventually we get back up to 40 degrees. And then as we continue on throughout the remainder of the week, our average high now is 44 degrees. So once we work our way into Wednesday, we're actually just above that. And then it's fairly seasonable Thursday and Friday as well, with mainly dry conditions. The only real chance of precipitation will be overnight Thursday into early Friday morning. Could be a light wintry mix at this point, nothing really to worry about. And then temperatures will be in the 40s for Saturday and Sunday. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now at traffic to the west and your drive times on I-70. If you're heading eastbound from Ronald Reagan Parkway to I-65 at the South Split, no delays. It is a 12-minute commute. Let's take a turn, though, north of this area up to the northwest. northwest side in the Dogleg, I-465 and I-865. Looks like we have a crash cleanup in that area, blocking the right lane and the shoulder. We're going to work to find more information about this crash scene, and we'll keep you updated here on Good Morning Indiana.
Social media star Olivia Jade is back on YouTube. The daughter of actress Lori Loughlin made her return with a 2-minute video saying she was terrified to come back. She went silent after her parents were arrested in March for their part in the college admissions scandal. Jade also lost advertising deals with companies like Sephora and Tresemme. In her new video, she says she legally cannot discuss the scandal, but is excited to be back and that it's something she is really passionate about.
At 5:49, new cameras are being rolled out to catch drivers using their cell phones behind the wheel. A state in Australia recently releasing their high-definition detection cameras. The developers say this technology would target illegal cell phone use through fixed and trailer-mounted cameras. They use artificial intelligence to review images to catch someone using their phone. The Transportation Department says that drivers will receive a warning letter in the first 3 months of the cameras. After that, offenders will face a fine of up to $344. Australian officials say that in a test, the cameras caught more than 100,000 drivers on their phones.
A Massachusetts man had a close call after an evacuation slide fell off an airplane and into his front yard. He was doing yard work when a huge inflatable slide fell from the sky and took out branches on his tree. Someone from the Federal Aviation Administration eventually came to retrieve the slide. Delta Airlines said it fell from one of their planes that was traveling from France to Boston. The plane did land safely. The FAA is now working to figure out how it happened. Probably not a good thing.
No. Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at the White House. Just after the break, a look at this year's extravagant decorations.
And while you're out shopping for the holidays, we hope you'll consider donating to the RTV6 Toy Drive. Our collection on Monument Circle is this Thursday from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. You can also drop off toys at several locations, including participating Applebee's and used stores. For a full list, head to theindychannel.com and click on the 6 Shines On Toy Drive link. We'll be right back.
Down on the farm.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:54 on your Monday. We're still monitoring this crash cleanup here at I-465 and I-865. It's not slowing down traffic. It is moving along still up to speed in all directions here in the Dogleg.
The White House is all decked out and ready for the holidays. First Lady Melania Trump tweeted out this video showing off the decorations inside the executive mansion. This year's theme is the Spirit of America. It's a simple white color scheme with some red and blue accents on some of the trees. There are also large white star ornaments hanging from the ceiling to represent the Star-Spangled Banner. The video features one ornament made of Scrabble pieces. It spells out Be Best, which is the First Lady's public awareness campaign to help youth. Mrs. Trump tweeted she is excited for everyone to experience the beauty of the Christmas season.
Oh,
so pretty.
I've been to that before, and it's so cool to get to walk through all the trees and all the history there.
It's just awfully amazing. Look at that.
I feel like this is the one reason why I want to be the First Lady.
Just
no
so you
other
could
reason,
have
just so
that
I can decorate
large
the White House
to decorate. All right, you heard it here first.
So
now you just need a president, right?
Yeah.
All right, Todd, I'm sorry. We are taking you off the ballot, though, for today when it comes to the weather. It's just not going to be a good day out there.
Yeah, I'll just have to make up for it here at some point throughout the month of December with better weather and sunshine. And we'll get there eventually here this week. But as Meredith mentioned, today, not going to be the best day. 32 degrees right now in Logansport as well as Zionsville. So you're inching closer to the freezing mark. And there's a little moisture on the roadway. So just be a little bit careful this morning. 33 in Bloomington. Here's the clouds that are in place. We just deal with these cloudy skies throughout the entire day. There's a few snowflakes and a little drizzle here this morning. But otherwise, that is it. The winds will continue to calm as the day goes on. But temperatures hold pretty steady throughout the day. 33 right now. Our high, that's only 35 degrees. The time now is 5:56. Stay with us. We'll be right back.